that the playoffs is a big damn roller coaster ride. If that's the case, what was that second period?
I haven't been to a theme park in a long time. So, Gabe, I know you go. What's like the badass roller coaster you've ever seen? Where's that? You know what? That'd be ironic because the Hulk was in the, well, he wasn't in the building reason. The Hulk in Universal Studios. Chow, do you agree with that? Yeah, that was the Hulk. Tampa born, by the way. Or from Tampa, I think. No, it was, it's weird. I think there were 11 goals in the series, or I'm not exactly sure how many. And to see whatever it was, 8 going in the second period, that was chaotic. It was a damn circus out there. But definitely no refunds after that one. That was, take your coach's hat off. It was one hell of an entertaining second period.
Joe Smith.
John, obviously, Kucherov finished last game in the penalty box. I'm sure probably was frustrating. What was it like to watch him tonight? It seemed like he was one of the better players out there and just making some big plays for you.
To be honest, he might have taken the game over. There was a point in the second period, and clearly we'd lost control of the second period a little bit, and he'd been kind of hit not in a tough manner by one of their guys, and he just channeled all his energy the right way. And that it was a 5-on-5 shift, and he was just a beast out there. And then we had our power play opportunities, and he was just making plays all over the place. But I thought he might have been the best player on the ice tonight. And it was when Kuch is doing some of the stuff he did tonight, he's borderline unstoppable, and it was great to see him do what he did tonight, because we definitely needed him.
Eric Francis.
Coach, Tyler just said, like, this isn't your bread and butter, and it's not what you guys preach. Would you prefer your team not get into shootouts? Because it seems like you guys have always thrived when it's high scoring.
Yeah. I think, there was a time we were kind of the greatest show on ice a few years ago, and many times those ended up in disappointing playoff outs. And the team they have this ability, and it's probably why we've had success the last couple of years, because we've had the ability to win different ways. If you want to get on the shootout, we do have a group that can do it that way, but that's not, it's not ideal. And we're really have this true belief that it's what you keep out of your net, not how much you put in the other net. And we try and live by that. Does it always go as planned? No. But if you want to go far, it's just the mentality you have to have. And yes, you do have to get one more than the other team eventually. But if you're defending and you're checking, eventually your skill takes over at some point. And we've been fortunate the last couple of springs that we've been able to rise above, whether it's a close checking game or, the high flying, high scoring game.
Dan Rosen.
John, tonight it's obviously Kucherov, Stamkos, point gets a goal, but you also get one from Tyler Johnson. In game one, it was Barclay Gaudreau. You had Cirelli and Killorn in game two. What's that like as a coach to have the depth that you guys have? But it's not just depth, it's guys that you can put out on the ice and believe that they're going to score and perform for you.
Well, you just listed off multiple games. So as a coach, if that's happening, that means you're playing multiple games in the playoffs, which is a good thing. I thought Johnny has had an exceptional playoffs. To be honest, he's probably had a better playoffs than he had last year. He'd probably be the first one to tell you that. But his goal was a monster goal. And, if there's one guy that's faced Mrazek a lot in his career in the playoffs, it's Tyler Johnson, and he scored some huge goals against him in big moments, and none other than the one he scored tonight. It was a big goal for us, for us to claw back into this.
Eric Erlinson.
So you have a fire wagon sort of second period, but the third, I think at the third media timeout, there were only 4 combined shots. I mean, just how be able to regroup and get back to maybe playing some of that style you just talked about to shut it down.
Well, we were fortunate to be able to. Can everybody else on this call see what you look like right now? What did he ask? No, he's totally.
The third period.
Oh yeah, so we were fortunate to have the lead. So not that we're trying to change the way we're playing, but you want to put yourself in to defend and compete, and we just didn't. Especially that first 10 minutes of the second period, they just beat us to pucks. They wanted a little more than we did, and for this whole series, we've competed so hard, and just our will has been so strong, but they pushed back, and it just wasn't good enough. Not good enough for us, and to win a playoff series, especially against a talented team like that, we can't have efforts like that, and it was back to more of our recipe in the third, and fortunately, Kuch gets a huge goal there and worked out for us.
Brian Burns.
Coop, you just mentioned that Kucherov goal. Did that feel kind of like a dagger goal, or was it still kind of hold your breath at that point?
Well, I don't know. It's when you're in the trenches, you're probably always holding your breath at some point, but that's a big time goal. I think with the chaos that happened in the second period, it's a 1-goal game. The next one was the big one of the game, and we were fortunate enough to get it.
Do one more, Jay Retcher.
Coop, good to see Savard back in the lineup tonight. Penalties aside, I mean, tough luck there, but how nice was it to have him to put him back in the lineup there and kind of balance everything out there on the blue line?
Well, it's good. He had some big moments in the game for us. Just, it's tough when you play a team like Carolina that when you're at, the game's going at warp speed, and for him to come in and contribute the way he did, it's why we got him at the deadline. And, I don't think he was too fired up that he had to miss some games, but when physically not able to play, you got to sit out. It's tough on guys, but it's also tough to come right into a middle of a series and to play the minutes he did. And it was good for him and really good for us.
Thank you, Coach, for your time.